To start the year, this NBA draft class has both surprised positively, where we have guys like Benedict Mathurin and Paolo Banchero showing out, looking like those guys should be the clear 1 and 2 picks from this year's draft. And we have guys like Jabari Smith and Johnny Davis who have really struggled to hit the floor and be effective and provide value for their teams. And it's just kind of surprising that when you're looking back at the way this draft class has played over the first few games, or the first 15, 20 games for them, that it was even a debate that Paolo shouldn't have gone first. This guy looks like clearly the best player in this draft class by far, and I just thought I would take this video to kind of just break down the top 10 draft picks and just see how they're looking, see what I think they can be, and how much value they're already providing for their teams. Kicking us off is the number 1 overall pick, Paolo Banchero, who's been just absolutely electric to open up the year, stuffing the stat sheets across the board, putting up 23, 8, and 3.6 assists a night, while doing so creating his own shot a lot and being the primary initiator for this younger Magic's team. He's done so extremely effectively, and what's really surprised me the most is how great he is at already getting to the line. Right now he shoots 8.3 free throws a game, which is pretty much unheard of in my opinion for a rookie, and he just knows how to use his size, his body, his strength, his athleticism to bully opponents, to take advantage of mismatches, and to take advantage when he has a slower big on him who can't keep up with him. His touch around the rim is also extremely impressive, shooting 70% down there. And on the defensive end, he definitely isn't an elite defender yet, but he's shown the awareness, the IQ, and the touch to be very effective on that end. And I think he can really develop to being a good maybe not all-league defender, but just on the outside of that. And I think with all of that, the ability he has to carry the offense already at such a young age, I really do think the Magic have found a potential top 10 player in Paolo who looks like he can lead this team to the playoffs for many, many years to come. And when you have Franz Wagner, Wendell, and Jalen Suggs all around that, I think this Magic team is going to be great because of Paolo. Next, we have the number 3 overall pick, Jabari Smith, who was drafted for his ability to hit tough shots, space the floor, and be a pretty switchable defender. And so far, he's really, really struggled to hit the floor or hit his shots from anywhere on the floor, despite being open or covered. Right now, he has an effective 3 field goal percentage of 39%, which is terrible, especially when he was expected to be kind of more of a floor raiser for this Rockets team. He's expected to come in and provide instant value. He's really, really struggled to find that value for this Rockets team. But I think, too, some of that just is shooting, like that's adjusting to the three-point line, that's adjusting to the pressure and the size of NBA defenders. And I'm not that worried about Jabari Smith. I think he can definitely come around in his career. I think he clearly has a lot of limitations on the offensive end, which will hold him back from being potential all-star, all-NBA. But I think if he can work out that, if he can get the shots falling again, he can still be an extremely valuable NBA player and be very, very effective for this rebuilding Rockets team that's just looking for any kind of talent to pair along Jalen Green, which I think he can be. And on the defensive end, he's pretty solid, and I think he can cover up some of the lacklusterness of Alperen Sengun. Coming in at number 4, we have Keegan Murray on the Sacramento Kings, and Keegan Murray honestly has been one of the most consistent rookies I've seen over the last little bit. He's not the most flashy, he's not giving you the most points, but what he's doing is providing instant value with his spacing and giving them just another switchable defender who looks like he has a lot of upside. Right now, he's shooting amazing at the rim with 81% with his rim finishing. He's shooting very effectively as well from deep. And he's just playing really high-level defense as well, which is what you could ask for this guy. I think for the Kings, they were looking for a player who could come play efficient basketball, play NBA-ready basketball, and that's what Keegan Murray has done for sure. I think he's also shown flashes in the Summer League, especially of higher potential growth. And I think, with this Kings team that wants to compete now, but also wants to kind of keep building and being more competitive, I think Keegan Murray is the perfect pick for them. He does everything at a pretty good to high level, and he's shown flashes that he can improve a lot. And on defense, he's been very solid. He gives them a switchable wing that they've been really lacking outside of Harrison Barnes. And I think Keegan Murray is probably one of the best picks for this team so far, out of just their last few draft picks. At number 5, we have Detroit Pistons' Jaden Ivey. And Jaden Ivey has been really, really good for the Pistons so far. He's just given them a second dynamic guard to pair alongside Cade Cunningham, who can take some of the ball handling duties away from him, can create for himself at a decent level, can create for others at a decent level. and has shown pretty good flashes on the defensive end, using his size and his strength especially to kind of make up for only being 6'4". Without Cade Cunningham too, he looked pretty good as the lead ball handler. He went off against the Toronto Raptors, and he's been really, really effective with the ball in his hands. I think where he has to grow is moving off ball and being effective there, but he's a solid cutter. He's a good rim finisher, and he's a really good defensive rebounder too for a guard. And I think the Pistons found just the perfect guy to pair alongside Cade Cunningham, someone who can elevate Cade's game without really taking anything away from it. And it seems like when Cade can come back, they will both be able to effectively play off of each other. I think where I'm kind of worried about is he seems pretty turnover prone as a primary ball handler, but for a lot of young guards, that's an issue. And I think with more time and more reps in the league, that turnover number will come down. And yeah, I think they found a really, really solid guy who looks like he has all-star potential in Jaden Ivey. Coming in at number 6 is the Indiana Pacers pick of Benedict Mathurin, who I think has been the second best rookie, only behind Paolo Banchero. He's been absolutely electric off their bench, lighting up people. Right now, per 75, he's scoring 25 points on plus 4.4 relative true shooting, which is absolutely incredible, especially for a rookie guard. He's shooting 45% on 6.3 attempts from 3, has shown the ability to finish plays, create his own shot. Where he's been a little lackluster is a playmaking ability. He has not really shown any talent for that quite yet, or ability to find other people, but hopefully that will develop over time. And I think if he can just develop an all-right playmaking game with his elite scoring package that he already has, he can definitely be an all-star to potential All-NBA type guy. And I think when you have the pairing of him and Tyrese Halliburton together, where he doesn't really need to create for others as much because they have one of the best young playmakers in Tyrese, he can just be him, which is an all-time great scorer, it seems. Like, putting up 20 points as a rookie is really good, especially on great efficiency. The turnovers is something that worries me, and the defensive ability definitely worries me a little bit. But with the amount of upside he has on the offensive end, I'm not concerned at all about this pick, and I think he's probably going to be one of the best players in this draft class. Coming up next is the 7th overall pick in Shaedon Sharpe of the Portland Trail Blazers. And Shaedon Sharpe has definitely not have as much opportunity as a guy like Benedict Mathurin and Paolo Banchero, but in the minutes that he does have, he's been very, very effective. And it's very promising that a guy who did not really play any college ball has already been a very effective player at the highest level, playing on a team in the Portland Trail Blazers who are looking to compete and make the playoffs, and he's definitely been a positive addition for them. He gives them an explosive rim finisher, a guy who can create his own shot, an effective three-point shooter, shooting 46% for 3 on only 2.3 attempts, but that's just really promising for a guy, especially when he's only playing so many limited minutes. It makes sense that his attempts aren't very high. And yeah, this is just a guy who has great upside. We never really got to see it in college or, in the G League or in the Summer League because it all got cut short. But I think he's shown flashes in the minutes he's gone. And if he can develop continuously alongside this team, they can just give him another dynamic guy to pair along Dame and Anthony Simons as those guys age. And I honestly think Shaedon Sharpe definitely does have really high potential. We just need to see it. Coming up next, we have number 9, Jeremy Sohan. Jeremy Sohan has shown pretty nice flashes. This guy is going to come and he's going to hustle. He's going to rebound at a high level. He's going to defend at a high level. And when he is attacking the rim, he has a pretty solid offensive game. He's shooting 80% at the rim. But he definitely has a lot of concerns with his outside shot just not really being existent. And he has some concerns where it comes to his creation. He doesn't look like he's going to be a great shot creator for himself anytime soon or others. But when it comes to play finishing, hustle plays, defense, rebound, he's shown really good flashes. He's really embraced the Dennis Rodman comparison, wearing the same number, has the crazy hair. And I think this is a guy who's going to definitely be a project before this rebuilding Spurs team that doesn't look like they want to compete anytime soon, that has one of the best developmental coaches and staffs in the league, and we've seen what they've done with Keldon Johnson and other guys. I really think he's in the best situation to make a use of all of his talents and his skills and to help him develop new talents and skills that he doesn't quite possess yet. And I think it's just another solid pick for the Spurs. But as you can tell, I didn't really cover guys like Dyson Daniels or Johnny Davis. I just don't really think they've played enough games to have a good feel of what they can potentially be. And yeah, I think this draft class is definitely really solid. I don't think it's quite as good as last year's class, but I think last year's class is just going to be special. And we've seen a lot of promising players on this top 10. Maybe I'll take a look at the rest of the guys drafted from 11 to 60 eventually, but I just wanted to kind of take a focus on these guys and just kind of break down my opinions on them through their young careers. If you liked the video, I would really appreciate it if you subscribed or just liked the video, but that's